Ever stared at your credit card statement and wondered, is this thing bleeding me dry, or could it actually be a tool for growing my future? We're told credit cards are the enemy, right? Debt traps, high interest, the lurking monster that eats away at financial stability. But what if, just what if, there was a way to flip the script? What if you could use that plastic in your wallet not just for spending, but for investing? Specifically, what if you could link it to Acorns? Acorns, for those who haven't dipped their toes in the micro-investing pool, is that app that rounds up your everyday purchases and invests the spare change. It's the digital equivalent of that piggy bank you had as a kid, but with the potential to grow your money in the stock market. It's designed for simplicity, for ease of use, for those of us who don't have the time or the inclination to become Wall Street wizards. But here's the rub. Traditionally, Acorns works by linking to your checking account. It's where the magic happens, where the roundups are calculated, and where the money flows from. So, the question remains, can you bypass the traditional route and link your credit card directly? Let's be real. Credit cards are often seen as the antithesis of investing. They're built for spending, not saving. They come with interest rates that can make your eyes water. So, why would anyone even consider linking them to an investment platform? Well, the appeal is understandable. Imagine this, you make a purchase on your credit card. Acorns rounds up that purchase. Instead of that roundup coming from your checking account, it's somehow magically linked to the credit card itself. You're essentially investing with borrowed money, with the potential to earn returns that could offset the interest. It sounds like a financial hack, doesn't it? A way to game the system. But is it even possible? And more importantly, is it wise? Let's get the straightforward answer out of the way first. Directly linking a credit card to your Acorns account for roundups is generally not supported. Acorns primarily relies on linking to a checking account for the roundup feature. But, as with most things in the financial world, there are nuances and potential workarounds. Let's break it down. First, let's consider the technical limitations. Acorns' infrastructure is built around the idea of pulling funds from a bank account. This ensures a consistent and predictable flow of funds for investment. Credit cards, on the other hand, are designed for fluctuating balances and revolving credit. Integrating that with the roundup feature would be a logistical nightmare. Second, let's talk about the risks. Investing with borrowed money is inherently risky. If your investments don't perform as expected, you're not just losing potential gains, you're also accruing interest on your credit card balance. This can quickly spiral out of control, turning a small investment into a significant debt burden. Think of it like this, you're essentially betting that your investments will outperform your credit card's interest rate. If they don't, you're in a worse position than when you started. Now, let's explore some of the workarounds people often consider. The indirect approach, some people might think about using a credit card to fund their checking account and then let Acorns pull from the checking. This is essentially a two-step process. However, this is still risky because it's still using credit to fund investments. Cash advances, credit card cash advances are another potential, but highly discouraged, route. Cash advances typically come with high interest rates and fees, making them a very expensive way to fund your investments. This is a surefire way to lose money in the long run. Rewards credit cards, some people wonder if they can use rewards credit cards to indirectly benefit. The premise is that you use the credit card for everyday spending, earn rewards, and then use those rewards to fund your Acorns account. This is a more sensible approach, but it still requires careful management of your credit card balance to avoid interest charges. So, while directly linking your credit card to Acorns for roundups is generally not possible, there are indirect ways to use your credit card in conjunction with the platform. However, these methods come with significant risks and require careful consideration. Let's shift gears and talk about the bigger picture. Why are we so drawn to the idea of using credit cards for investing? Part of it is the allure of leverage. The idea of using someone else's money to grow your own is incredibly tempting. It's the same principle that drives real estate investors and entrepreneurs. But leverage is a double-edged sword. It can amplify your gains, but it can also magnify your losses. Another part of it is the desire for instant gratification. We live in a world of instant downloads and same-day delivery. We want results, and we want them now. Investing, however, is a long-term game. It requires patience, discipline, and a willingness to ride out the ups and downs of the market. Perhaps the most important question to ask yourself is, what are your financial goals? Are you trying to get rich quick, or are you building a solid foundation for your future? If your goal is to build long-term wealth, then using your credit card to fund your investments is probably not the best strategy. It's a high-risk, high-reward approach that can easily backfire. Instead, consider focusing on building a solid financial foundation. This means paying off high-interest debt. Prioritize paying off your credit card balances before you even think about investing. Building an emergency fund. Having a cushion of savings can protect you from unexpected expenses and reduce your reliance on credit cards. Creating a budget. Understanding your income and expenses is essential for managing your finances effectively. Investing consistently. Start small, invest regularly, and let compound interest work its magic. Acorns is a fantastic tool for building long-term wealth, but it's not a magic bullet. It's designed to supplement your financial strategy, not replace it. So, to wrap it all up, while the idea of linking your credit card to Acorns for roundups might seem appealing, it's generally not possible, and more importantly, it's not advisable. The risks outweigh the potential rewards. Focus on building a solid financial foundation, prioritize paying off debt, and invest consistently. Acorns can be a valuable tool in your arsenal, but it's just one piece of the puzzle. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.